I know how frustrating it is when you bomb a drive and you get to the ball and your playing partners have still hit it past you. But when it comes to the drive, and if you want to hit it further, you have to get your timing right. And it's not always the easiest thing because it's the longest club in your bag, and of course it's the fastest swing out of all of your clubs. There's a great drill that I'm going to show you in this video that's going to ensure that you get your timing right. But before we get to that drill, there's 3 tweaks in your setup that I would like you to make this easier for you. So the first problem is in the alignment. Not so much in how your feet or your hips are aligned, but in how your shoulders are aligned. So the one mistake that happens with golfers is that as the ball gets further and further and further forward, the shoulders start to open up and aim to the left. Now, you can see if I'm addressing the ball here and my shoulders are aiming to the left, the club path, swing path is going to follow the line of my shoulder, so that's to the left. So I'm going to have to hold that face open to somehow get the ball coming back, and it leads to those weak slices. So to start getting more of that draw shape, we want to get our shoulders more square. So now you can see here I've got my shoulders square to my feet, and it's going to feel strange simply because it feels like I'm bending my chassis a little bit here. You know, it's going to feel like really odd in the beginning, but it doesn't take you long to get used to it, especially when you start bombing those drives. So now with the square shoulders, you can see it's easier for me to approach from the inside. Okay, easier for me to swing out towards the target, whereas when my shoulders were open, because the ball was further forward, then that's going to go off to the left. Then I have to slice it, hit it with an open face to bring it back towards the target. Okay. Then the next problem I see is that golfers are teeing the ball too low. So you look at the modern drivers, they've got a deeper face. So there's talk about half the ball sticking up over the top, but with a deeper face, I like to see 2/3 of the ball sticking up above the face. Now the deeper face, you're going to catch it on the up, and that's going to allow you to, that's going to give you a much better chance of hitting it out the sweet spot. Okay, when it's too low, you kind of have to get to it. You got to swing down to get to it, and that's the last thing you want. Also going to lead to those sort of low shots out, going out to the right, those sort of weak little slices. Then the next thing that I want to talk to you about is ball position. Okay, we want the ball to be more forward in the stance. Right, we want to catch it when the club is on its way up. We want to give this ball an uppercut. Okay, so having it further in the stance, further forward in the stance, allows us to do that. Okay, so we want to be getting a launch angle of around 13 to 15 degrees to be hitting good solid drives where the ball's taking off like a Boeing 747. Okay, but yet on its descent, when the ball's still coming on, starting to now drop down towards the ground, it's still going forward. We don't want drives popping up and dropping down in the sky. We also don't want them going too low where they're not getting the carry. We need the carry. It's a lot like if you had home water in the garden. The higher you lift the hose pipe, the further the water goes. All right, so that's why we want to be catching this ball on the up so we can get that carry. Then the last thing that I want to talk to you about is your timing. All right, there's no doubt that the drive as a club, it's there to be hit. Okay, we want to hit it further. All right, but if we rush it, so our timing is out, it's not going to be effective. We're not going to be producing the power that's necessary for hitting further drives. The biggest error that I see is the rushing from the top, where it becomes all upper body and nothing's really happening in the lower half. Okay, we need the lower half. We do need the weight transition, the transfer of the weight to get power into the shot. Think about it. If you're throwing a ball, all right, something we've done ever since we were kids, we would step and then we would throw. All right, we would never be throwing first and then stepping. And that's what I see in the golf swing. When golfers rush the downswing, it's kind of like a hitting first and then the weight follows. All right, whereas what we need is we need that stepping. We need that pushing into this left side before the arms and the hands do their thing. So a really good exercise is you take a towel and you swing it to the top of your backswing and you just let it rest on your back. Okay, and then when you start your downswing, I want you to keep the tail on your back for as long as possible. Okay, let's do that again. So let the tail rest on your back, and now when you do your downswing, you keep it on your back for as long as possible. And what that's doing is it's slowing down the upper half, or should I say it's just delaying it, so that you can initiate better with your lower half. So the way you want to do it is you get to the top of your backswing and you feel this move first, because you want to feel like the tail's still on your back. Okay. What this does, you're going to feel, kind of slows the left shoulder down. We rush it. This left shoulder moves very early, throws everything outside the line as well. Goes outside the line there. Okay. Not very good if you want to be bringing it back down on the inside. Now, if you don't start bombing it past your mates after taking this advice, get in touch with me, and with some online coaching, we'll make sure that you do. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of my future instruction or tips. I'm Owen, and I want you to start playing golf better than you imagined.